to Dixie 7 News.
Hello, good evening. I'm Cleavon Beauregard Buford with Channel 7 Dixie News. Tonight we celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Antietam, which turned them Yankees back north and granted us a glorious Southern victory. Let's go to field reporter Mary Lou for the story.
Thank you, Cleavon. I'm standing here at the Antietam battlefield, where 150 years ago, we sent the Union Army back to their stomping grounds. Thanks to the strategic moves of General and future President Robert E. Lee and his famous Order 191, we can stand here at this hallowed ground and remember those who gave it all for Southern independence. And thanks to the bravery of our men and the pure intelligence of our great leader, we successfully got our states and our slaves.
So Mary Lou, tell me a little bit more about these special orders. It's been a while since I've taken to the book learning, and I'm having trouble remembering.
Will do, sir. Well, on September 9th, 1862, General Lee's troops were still working on the Maryland campaign before the Battle of Antietam. And he wrote up the victory plan for the war, his famous Order 191. It was written by the great Assistant Staff General R.H. Chilton and consisted of dividing the army into 4 sections to secure garrisons and supplies and capture the Federals at Martinsburg, Harper's Ferry, and Boonesboro, while Lee went to Hagerstown. Our great leader predicted our victory, saying, "Are you acquainted with the General McClellan? He is able general, but a very cautious one. His army is very demoralized and chaotic condition, and will not be prepared for the offensive operation, or he will not think it is so for 3 or 4 weeks. Before that time, I hope to be in the Susquehanna." These plans were successfully lured McClellan into the open, and the great Confederacy won the Battle of Antietam. We told those Northerners to stick it where the sun don't shine.
Go.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Now to a political analyzer, Jeremiah Longtree, who will explain the importance of the Battle of Antietam.
Thank you, Cleavon. I'm not the world's most intelligent man. I don't know what the sun is. Hell, I don't even know what grass does. But I do know this. The Battle of Antietam changed the war in the Confederates' favor. The battle...
Do elaborate.
Thank you, sir. After Lee caught the Yankee generals with their pants down, we were able to push forward swiftly and advance into northern Maryland, soon taking the Yankee capital of Washington, D.C. After the Yankee capital was taken, British Prime Minister Hortz voted to join our cause. Soon after the British joined the Confederate battle, Louis Napoleon of the French also joined in on our fun, giving us troops and building ships like the famous CSS Alabama. You may think of the French as uptight and good-for-nothing sons of bitches. Well, they are, but they will do anything to keep the cotton cheap for their fancy clothing and outrageous styles. The great European powers, in dire need of cotton, had no choice but to side with us.
So, Jeremiah, you're telling me that they sided with us unjustly deemed rebels instead of the Union because they had no moral opposition to the war?
Well, sir, that brings up an interesting and quite controversial topic. You see, historians have come across the War Journal of U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. In the early months of 1864, he confided to his journal that if the North had won the Battle of Antietam, then they would have gotten the support to pass the alleged Emancipation Proclamation, which would have freed all the slaves in our Confederate states. Without this proclamation, the great powers had no reason to oppose our war effort, and we won their support. Not only did this spell an end to the freeing of the Negro, but it ruined Lincoln's chances of winning the 1864 election. He lost to former Union General George B. McClellan, or as we like to now say, the greatest fool God ever put into office. Soon after his election, McClellan sued for peace and surrendered most of the Northern Territory to the CSA.
Much obliged, Jeremiah. I hate to interrupt you, but I'm seeing breaking news coming out of Ferguson, Missouri. A slave revolt has broken out on the border of the small and feeble United States of America. Let's go to the scene right now.
You need to exit the street immediately and stop throwing objects at law enforcement. Do it now or you will be subject to arrest. Disperse immediately and stop throwing objects at law enforcement. Do it now. You need to disperse immediately. If you are in the middle of the street, you are lawfully assembled, you will be subject to arrest. Do it now.
That's all for Channel 7 Dixie News. We'll follow up with the Ferguson riots on our 6 o'clock program. I'm Cleavon Bayford Buford, signing out.